Here with RVing with Joe. Hey everyone, I'm here with the Gossmanns. We're at the Alberta Overland Adventure Expo, the AOAE. If you haven't checked it out, it's AOAE.com.
They're on Facebook.
I'll put a link right here, and there'll be a link in the description. Dieter and Antoinette Gossmann. Truth be told, last year, this time, I did an interview with them and lost the footage. We're not going to talk about that here, but if you saw the awards video, which I'll link to right here, you'll see that that was basically at the same time I filmed the Gossmanns, but we lost footage. So now we're here a year later. We're here to talk about 2 years plus of ownership of an Ember 201
BQ X.
201 FBQX.
And we're the OGs.
And they were running the original Ember Owners. They came here with their Ember like 3 years ago. And when I say here, this is basically the annual event here for outdoor activity and overlanding here in Alberta. Funny enough, I really should try the BC one of these days, since I drive all the way out here every year. There's an equivalent one in BC that Joanne and I really should attend. But anyway, they came a few years ago with their Ember. The last couple of years, Woody's was here selling Embers, and even the awards I think were somewhat influenced by your experience, right?
So our Ember that we bought was here at the Woody's Expo, which they saw. We owned it already, but they wanted to keep it for the Expo. So we only took possession of it the weekend after. But that's the one that sold the awards on their FBQ.
Did you guys stare at it when people were walking out of your RV like, hey, take your shoes off?
We made sure that they sent us some pictures to say, like, it's still there, it's okay.
Woody's did a good job cleaning it for us.
They sure did.
And restoring it.
That's good. And that's another thing that myself, Dieter, the Wards, we've all purchased from Woody's. They're actually the sole West Coast distributor for the Ember, so you really don't have a choice. But it's worked out well. Woody's, I think, for all of us, has been a really good relationship. Sometimes with these newer RVs, the first one's off the line, especially your guys, even earlier than mine. There were some early issues that kind of get resolved, but Woody stepped up, Ember stepped up for all of us, and has fixed everything to date. So I'm pretty happy with that. So what's been your 2 years experience been like? I mean, you guys have gone all over both US and Canada now, right? What are some of the experiences you found? Like, what is it that stands out that compared to other trailers that you had in the past?
I think for us it would be the infinite electricity / power with the solar. Like, we've been here 4 days, we've not used a generator, and we've not battery peeped every single minute of the day to see, are we okay, how is this going? We just leave it and it does its thing. Size of tanks, we still have water left after a 4-day weekend.
3-day weekend.
3-day weekend.
Yeah.
What I like the most is that you can use everything. If you're stationed, like even when the slide's in, everything is usable. Because when you're traveling and you're quickly stopping at a rest stop, you need to use the washroom, you want to make lunch, everything is usable with the slide in, which to me was a plus. So for traveling long distances, it's really nice. You can lie on the bed and have a rest while I quickly make lunch, and then you can be on the road again. So definitely a lot of pluses. And really, as a girl, it's nice every now and then to dry your hair. So to have that availability, to be able to do that, and then I can use my air fryer.
There you go.
Those are really good.
So the electrical aspects of it are a big win for you.
Absolutely.
They are. The off-road capabilities, not having to worry about where you park, where you take it. It just follows you.
It's opened up the boondocking for us, particularly in the States, significantly. As you know, going to Utah is an experience, and you can go to places that maybe other people couldn't go, which is lovely, with a traditional trailer. Even Montana had so much availability for places you can go camp, which is lovely. And boondocking is nice for lots of reasons. You get to explore areas where there's nobody. Free helps.
Yeah.
The trailer is also a product it stands out wherever you go. It's not a traditional looking trailer. People will come to you and say, hey, what is that? How do I get this? Where do I find out about it? And it's normally, ask me. I can tell you what you need to know. Or I know someone that can help you out with whatever you need to know.
Johanna has seen me a dozen more times just at a rest area, gas stop. Have 3 or 4 people all, opening up all the doors, checking it all out. Yeah, walk on through. I love showing it off, and I think we've all ended up, being ad hoc ambassadors for the brand, because I love showing it off. I love, encouraging people. Yeah, check it out.
And they love the suspension. Everybody checks out.
Everyone, anyone, even I've seen guys that are not into RVs but are gear heads and car heads, and they're like, oh, what is this? Who is Kurt? Well, oh, these are independent. There's no axles.
Yeah,
that's a big thing as well.
Yeah, even some of the ones I'm looking at over here, I say, oh, is this independent suspension? They go, well, it's kind of like that. It's in between a torsion, and it's like it's still one connected thing.
There's still a bar in the middle.
Yeah, and I have bent far too many axles to want to go back away from independent suspension.
So talking about that too, like going places, like in our previous trailer, we had lost some of the stabilizers. Going, like, you don't have to worry about with this.
The clearance is
is
immense.
really, really awesome.
My old trailer, anything that looked like a speed bump, was speed ordering 2 new jacks from Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I don't know one of you guys who said, but pretty much I think the idea is wherever your truck can go, the trailer can go.
Yeah.
I put it in a situation where I don't think my truck could go more, but the trailer was like, come on, move along, let's go, we can do this.
Yeah.
And I did have a slight panicky wife, but we were good.
Well, I do a little panic myself when I'm in these situations. So I'm constantly going on off roads without the trailer, saying, "Can we take the Ember on this?" She's like, "No."
The answer is always yes.
You can, but
we're the limitation.
It's never let me down.
Physical problems are the limitation, not the trailer.
Yeah,
or the car.
her back is our limit, not the trailer. But yeah, we've taken it now, into all kinds of off road places. I even on the road, like turning around or pulling into some dirt pull off or pulling into the shoulder and hitting the ditch
so
to
you
turn
say
around.
You guys
don't
have
care.
been able to go places in like Utah. Like, were there specifically any locations that were just completely dependent?
Yeah, where would you want? Where would you?
That you would say are the best?
Yeah, what stood out to you guys?
You guys have traveled a lot in multiple countries.
I really don't want to tell people about Bryce Canyon.
Canyon.
I always don't want to say that, but the boondocking there, and we wouldn't have been able to get to the places that we went.
Monument Valley. I'm so glad you made it there. Yeah,
that is one sweet spot.
That's yeah. I mean, you guys know, but that's my tattoo is Monument Valley. It's because it blew my mind.
And in the Horseshoe. What was that place called just further up the road by Mexican?
Gooseneck. Gooseneck. Great. You guys went out to Gooseneck.
Yeah,
awesome.
you
guys, wonderful. I didn't know you guys made it out to all those spots. That's wonderful.
Those are incredible.
We were there just before you went there.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Valley of the Gods, I think, was probably our favorite.
That happens to be our favorite ecosystem.
I love the desert. It's one of my favorite ecosystems.
Yeah, that whole desert is our favorite zone. But I agree. I haven't taken it to Valley Gods. I was going to try to do it this year. That is my favorite.
And I don't think Goblin.
Okay.
That was.
I haven't been there, but
that is this very surreal place. If you're Star Wars orientated, that's what it feels like.
So those were definite. And then Oregon is beautiful too. You know, and with the site, I mean, it's a little bit bigger than the little ones people take in the Oregon coast, but we did some of it, and it was still doable.
The Oregon coast. You can take I've taken a 28-footer on the Oregon coast. It's
the fact that we took our trailer in Utah to places where there were true overland tow behinds, the smaller ones with the roof tent, and people just looking at you, sort of, how did you get that here? That was like okay, we got something unique here.
Yeah.
Is there anything that the Ember's done that's really surprised you, other than what you've mentioned?
No, I think it's just like really you did like in the wind, because we towed in Wyoming now with incredible winds.
Yeah, we have new respect for wind, and we call it the Wyoming wind scale.
Yeah, they cross. When you go north south, you get a lot of sideways.
And really, from a towing point of view, I mean, I'm just a passenger, but
sits with that suspension, just sits.
Like
tight.
The wind really didn't give it a lot.
It didn't bother us, and we saw Class A's being leaning over, and we just got straight through it.
Yeah, I think a part of it is our low the weight density is low, and it's a pretty heavy trailer for its size.
Yeah.
But a lot of people out there have lightweights. I get asked like, "Oh, is it a lightweight?" It's like, "Oh, I promise you, it's not a lightweight. It's a heavy one." But that's what we got. With that, we get extra stability. We get extra low center of gravity. I feel on this trailer relative to my other trailers. The other trailers are much more top heavy.
Although it feels higher off the ground, it looks higher off the ground, but it's not.
In reality, I can take corners faster with this. Not that I want to push it, but I've taken corners faster than this than any of my other trailers.
It's also the tires.
Large tires. So that's another tracking thing, right? Because these have exceptionally large off-road tires. The smaller the tire, the more you get wiggle, and these really
and even like as a passenger, you can feel when things are. It feels great. Like you sometimes forget that you have something behind you.
I've driven through winds 100%. That in my previous RV that I would have pulled over, and I just kept going, and it really wasn't a problem. Now, of course, we recently saw, and I'll include a picture here, is we had an Ember owner tip theirs over, and I think another example of just how well it survived. I mean, most of the time when you see an RV tip over on the freeway, they end up sort of like, it's like taking a shed and just squishing it with a tractor. Like it just falls apart, or at the very least it's the walls and tails are off. And in this case, I mean, we all were wondering, did you just turn it back over and keep driving? Because it just looked as
it looked perfect.
It looked perfect. It was
and that's probably the exoskeleton and the walls. And the exoskeleton has saved me a few tree rubs.
Yeah, I find it cuts through the trees. And
one or two tree rubs I've had
the Ember
in
sign
some tight
is
spots.
really good for maneuvering the trees out of your way.
It's really
like
true.
And it's
a brilliant design.
Yeah, it feels like it cuts through.
Any soft corners on a trailer is normally where you will hurt it, and here it's just like, oh well.
But I have to say, my favorite thing about the Ember is the fact that I can have heating, because in Canada it does get cold in the evenings, and I can have the heating on without hearing it.
Yeah,
whisper
quiet.
quiet.
It is quiet, and I can wait, and I can set the timer, so when I wake up, so overnight it can be 14 or 15 degrees Celsius, and when I wake up in the morning I can set the timer so that it'll be 19 when I wake up. I love that. Our old trailer, I never had the heating on overnight because it would wake me up.
It was the old school
You
fan.
don't even know this is
the
on.
Trouba does its thing. I mean, there's a lot of good things, and then there's some things that people don't realize about the Ember. The smaller water heater, which is 2.5 gallons.
Yeah.
So if you're a guy that wants to hang around for a 6-minute shower on the traditional 5.2 gallon, it's not going to work for you.
You just have to, but that's why your water lasts a long time.
But everything is more efficient, and all your resources just last longer.
Yeah, I think the one thing I took me by surprise in the beginning was the speed of the water pump is so strong that you really need to keep it tailored back, because you can blow through the hot water with full blast. That water pump will pump faster than most of the RV parks, water pressure.
I mean, that's all the good things. The downside, I don't really think it's a downside, because if you look at a trailer, it's pretty much a rolling tornado behind you. So there's things that shake loose, and you will find screws, and you will find a drawer go a little skew, the odd water leak we've had, but everything has always been taken care of.
Yeah, and it's important on anybody's RV, and it's just as much as the Ember is. You roll through and check. You check the bolts. You check that things haven't loosened up, especially because we're pushing it on the off-road. It's more likely to happen. But I just do the same thing on my truck. This is what you do. Things that are screwed together are going to unscrew, and it's important to watch for that. Yeah, but I have not had anything other than cosmetic-y stuff. The front plate around the microwave, or something like that.
That's a standard trim.
Exactly. And like I think we were, Nick and I were saying, when you're looking at a $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 RV, you really don't want to be focused too hard on the $2 thing that broke or the $3 thing that broke. Like, put your energy where you need to. If a chain on your jack, broke, whatever. Even the fridge, I'm not worried about. These RVs are.
It's all replaceable.
You got to take a bigger meta picture of what you're buying and why you're buying it. And these little things are just inconveniences. Every RV has issues, and every RV is a little bit of a roll of the dice. Whether you're getting the Friday before the 3-day weekend RV or the Tuesday after they came back, you're going to get different ones. And Ember's no different. We've seen some that had problems, especially in the beginning, but I've seen so many come off the line now without hearing from anyone.
And so, things that I'll say about Ember is that they are responsive. They are very very responsive,
Very
and,
active in the community.
Yeah, and so this
Social-
weekend we had
social
5
media.
Embers here, which is awesome, and 3 of the 201s, and each one has something that's a little bit different and a little bit unique, which is also nice. That you don't have anything that's exactly the same. And now, as we heard from the newer owners, like they haven't had any issues at all. So Ember has listened and changed things up. So that's great. I think that's awesome. I would like for them, Ember, if you're listening, at the kitchen.
Ken's right there.
If you can just have that little table next to the sink that can flip up. I know
Please do it for me, because I don't want to do it. Just tell me where I can buy that little add-on.
my maintenance department doesn't want to do it. I just want to have that little flip up, just to
They
have
need
a
to
little
start
bit
an
more space.
accessory section,
Yeah.
and then we can start purchasing things like that
Yes.
to kind
Yeah.
of
Anyway, it's
upgrade
not
our
a big
Embers.
deal, but it's something that I've seen in some of the
it's
the
nice.
newer models.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
Well, the
Yeah.
E series has it.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about here that we're at the AOAE, the Alberta Overland Expo, and unfortunately, Woody's wasn't able to make it this year for whatever reasons. We know it's a down year for RVs, so I understand. But what we really are hoping for, right, is we're hoping that we want to get more Ember owners here. So if you're an Ember owner in Alberta or even BC, think
and
about
join
coming
us.
here. This is the West Coast, where we used to call it the unofficial gathering. I think we can start calling it the official Ember gathering that happens annually. And I think we'd like to put word out to Ember, just saying, hey,
Throw some swag our way. We need some flags. Yeah. We need stuff to be seen. We're representing the brand, and we currently have a little village of Embers here.
Yep.
So some nice hoodies. They're
yeah,
always
maybe for
good.
next year. And really, we invite Ember to send out a rep. Maybe this is a good time to send out someone. We'd love to see you. I don't know, Chris or anyone who wants to come out, but come on out. You get to enjoy. I mean, first of all, coming to Alberta is just a treat alone. So it's not a lot to ask of anyone to come out here in the summer, especially. But yeah, we'd like to see Ember come out here and represent, whether it's with Woodies, which would be great, or just come out here alone. I'm sure you can drive an Ember out here and park along us, but we definitely want to see.
Yeah, come and see the knowledge base. We're the problem solvers right here.
Exactly. We'll walk you through our issues. They walk you through the things we've done and fixed, or the things that we focus on. I think everybody here, we greased everybody's jackets. More greasing and jacking.
One less maintenance.
Yeah. So everyone here, I think.
Hashtag greasing and jacking.
Yeah, I went and did these guys. We had the neighbors. I handed off the red and tacky to him. He went and did his last night, and so everyone's leaving here with good hitch defenders.
Lippert would be proud of us.
Yeah, exactly. We're doing
Come on,
it right.
Lippert, while we're shouting out, Lippert, we need some stuff. Come on.
Yeah, I don't mind a Kurt hat would be awesome.
A couple of grease guns, some red tacky grease, the maintenance stuff, so we can help the other guys out.
Exactly. And although he's off camera here, we've got the Wards just off to our side here.
He's our solar
and they've been really helpful with especially Nick here, looking over our rigs, giving us advice. I mean, he's considered an expert. And come on into the frame here for a second here, Mr. Ward. There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
That's Mr. Ward here. Got Nick Ward and Jeanette's out there. So yes, I mean we're all kind of looking to the Ember community to join us here. So both Ember the company and Ember owners, get out here.
And Nick is soon to be putting out a video on his trip up north.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the short little video I did on with the Wards while
Everyone's
they were
getting a plug today.
in Tuktoyaktuk. They made it all the way up to the Arctic Circle. Last year we were here. We all talked about doing it. A couple of us, just for the logistical reasons, couldn't make it work, but they did. And they made it all the way up. It's 500 kilometers.
800 kilometers.
800 kilometers.
One way from Dempster Junction. So.
Yeah, you should see his stuff.
880 kilometers gravel road.
Just, after the drive up, you need that just decompression time to relax and enjoy the place and just look out at the ocean and see, over my shoulder, 2,000 kilometers away is the North Pole.
Yeah.
There's nothing between me and the North Pole.
The tires got chewed up, but boy, they survived and they're still working. So
hashtag Goodyear. We need to figure this out.
Yeah. So we got a list going. We got
and also
Ember, Lippert,
Goodyear hats. Goodyear hats.
Goodyear hats are handy.
Yeah, Kurt suspension.
Kurt suspension got a big shout already, man.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier.
And a shout out to me and Joanna for representing Ember in the karaoke last
year. Yeah, I'll show a clip of that. You gotta be the one that saves me. And after all
That
do
was
we?
not even beer infused.
I think
Maybe,
the fact that these guys spent almost 2 months in their RV, is a good sign like how good these trailers are, that you can actually live in them. Like, we've only done 4 weeks at a time, but you guys did a long time, and then still willing to come out for another weekend. So
You still love the trailer after that time, you're doing the right thing. But yeah, we'd like to see Ember Village grow a little bit next year. And like I say, if we can get a couple of banner flags and some swag and stuff, and people will look.
Yep.
Maybe we can even go park on Woody's spot next year.
Maybe. I think if
We
Nick
can
has our
have-
way, we'll be way back there next time. Now, admittedly, there are some wonderful villages back there. I did do the drive on this whole property. We recorded the entire property. There is some great setups here and great communities. So again, I want to thank the Gossmanns for getting this whole thing started. I want to thank the Wards for adding to it and bringing it together to become a real official thing. If you haven't been on if you're Canadian Ember owner, make sure you check out the
Facebook page.
Yeah, Nick Ward runs the Canadian Ember Facebook page, and we're all over all the Ember pages. So
fact sheeting that you put out.
Yeah, on the 201 there is a fact sheet pinned to the top of the 201 owners.
Oh, the questions and answers.
Yeah, our question and answer sheet, which is a living document. We need to update that, and that's posted on several of the Ember owner Facebook page.
I'll put a link to that in the description. So it's basically an ongoing living FAQ, of things you need to know about your Ember. Again, adding value to what Ember already gives us, and hopefully they're reading that and adding it back to their documentation. Well, I think that's gonna be. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna go do some awesome yoga on the roof shots next with Jeanette, who's gonna do yoga, because that's what you can do on these Embers.
I want to thank both of you for really making us feel welcome and
You're more than welcome, man.
being
I was
part
so
of
excited to
the
see you guys
Ember
here.
family.
And look out for our podcast.
Yeah,
I think these
I
two.
think it's going to be called
It's
something
gonna
like
be
Water
so
and
good.
Oil.
I honestly want to do a video. You may see a video on my channel of Dieter and Johanna. I mean, you want to talk about two opposites that attract. They are great together, but they couldn't be more different. It is wonderful. They not only can do karaoke, but I think they can do.
we can sing together and argue and still smile at the
So
end.
I'm going to look for the right subject, and we're going to hop on Zoom or something and do something between these
I think
two.
we're going to start with something really mellow like politics.
Yeah, we're thinking politics, religion, and gender.
I wanted to go with Daily Grumbles because I have lots.
And then all of a sudden we'll find them agreeing on all this. Oh, yeah. Thanks to you guys. Thanks to the Ember community.
Music alone, our music choice.
And thanks to all the followers. And another, just on my own tip, this is, it was at this location here.
My
that
friend Kelly.
I hit 15,000. Kelly, I want to thank you if you're not seeing this. She was our 15,000th subscriber. She stood there right here on our campsite, and she subscribed and got me over 15,000. So I want to thank all 15,000 subscribers, especially Kelly. I want to thank everyone here. I want to thank once again the Alberta Overland Expo team. I'm going to put a link to a whole lot
The
of the.
Alberta Overland Adventure Expo team.
There's so much to say.
It's 4 friggin' words.
And the organizers for this are YouTubers as well, so I'm going to go ahead and throw links into a lot of the YouTubers that were here as well. It's a really good YouTube gathering we had earlier of all the content creators, so I want to thank them as well. And we'll be back next year.
Yeah.
All right.
Go Ember family.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you guys. All right.
Now it's time for yoga.
I thought they were going to tell us, hey, you guys got to pack up and leave. We've had enough of you guys.